Hello everybody, and here again. Well, this is a tag response. I've been tagged by Twish1999, as you've seen by the title of the video. It's called I Like, and the idea of this particular tag is to talk about something that you like. Pretty simple, isn't it? I suppose the clue's in the title, really. And Twish did one about video making, and other people have done about, well, whatever, you know, it goes back as with all these tags. Now, tags was something that used to get a lot of those, and I remember doing lots of videos about tagging some time ago with specific tags. And a lot of people got a bit bored with them, got a bit sick of them, I suppose, to be brutally honest. But when something comes along that's a little bit different, and this is a new one to me, rather than those sort of questions ones or something, get you to talk about something. I was going to talk about something that I was thinking about doing, something about music or something like that, something outside of the internet, something about myself that's outside. But I thought, well, no, this is what most of you know me for, so that's what I'm going to talk about. I like vlogging. As you may well have guessed if you watch my videos, and if you're new to my channel, you might see that I've got about over 500 videos now. The majority of them will be this type of thing. It's just me talking to a camera in one setting or another, quite often here, but I do go round and about. Why do I like this? Well, it's partly because I found that I like doing this. I've always been someone who likes conversation. I've always been someone who's had an opinion. I've apologise straight away before I really get into this, that I may well end up talking and mentioning things that I've mentioned in other videos where I've been vlogging normally. So, you know, look away now type of thing if you don't want to get lots of things repeated, but hopefully there'll be something new in here. But that's the nature of these type of videos. I got into this sort of nearly 3 years ago, and as I said, I've always liked sort of conversation. I've always been interested in listening to arguments, reading, etc., whether it be the news, and I've got opinions about different things and like to express opinions, and I've done a bit of sort of talking in a DJ way, but not in this type of thing, like a public speaking type of thing, although that's come along. And I started doing this vlogging about 3 years ago. Never expected to do what I've done, to still be here 3 years later for a start, and also to have made 500 videos, as I said, the majority of which are this type of video. So it's opened up an avenue for me. It's opened up something new, and I think that's what Twish was talking about in her video as well, is that it's given her a lease of life. I'm saying new lease of life, but at least it's changed my life completely, this type of vlogging, video making. Obviously it's opened my eyes to lots of different people across the world. I've made lots of friends across the world. I've travelled because of YouTube. Lots of people have done that as well. I've made lots of friends. It's maybe branched out into different avenues. It's taken me on a different voyage on other aspects of the internet as well, whether that be the sort of Twitter side, the Facebook side, anything else. It's got me interested. I've always had an interest in sort of technology and that anyway, which is probably why I came onto this site and other sites as well. But it's the YouTube thing, as I said recently, that and the vlogging side of things, which has really made it take off for me, and has really sort of sparked an interest in looking at things on the internet. Literally just before I made this video about something that's happening here in the UK that the BBC are doing, talking about this type of activity, about the internet, etc. It's increasingly become a part of our lives, but it's increasingly become a part of my life because of this, because of myself doing the vlogging. So what else do I like about it? Well, as I said, I've always been interested and like to think about different things, but it's made me think more, especially listening to other people, and I think that's one of the things. As much as I like doing this myself, I do like to listen to other people, to bounce off of other people, to respond to people, other people's opinions. Open your ears, open your eyes, open your mind maybe sometimes to things that you might not have thought about, or they make you think about things differently, and maybe open you up to opinions that you might well not have found before, you might well not have listened to, but because it's here, because it's a bit different, and people seem like they're real people here, and a normal person like you and I, that you might be more willing to listen to them rather than the politician or somebody else, a spokesman that you might see on the news or whatever it might be, even in a book or a newspaper or a magazine or something like that, or a campaigning film or something. So it makes you think, it opens up your mind, and it's a challenge in some ways as well. It can be challenging to do this, because I know a lot of people when they first start, myself, although I had a little bit of confidence about doing it, it's certainly grown, as lots of other people have found. Some people don't have the confidence to try it, but it's worth giving it a go because it can change you. It's changed me as well, which is another reason that I like doing this, apart from given me an avenue and an outlet. It's changed the way I think about things, as I said before, but it's also challenged me, and it's made me do other things, or given me the confidence to do other things. I've been on a course at work actually this week for a couple of days, and I was sort of thinking there, watching the guy who was doing the course, he was okay, and I was thinking, well, actually, I wouldn't mind doing that. It was never anything that I would ever have thought about doing, standing up in front of a classroom, if you want to put it that, in front of other people, and talking about things. But in some ways I think I quite like to do that now because of what I've done here and the ease that I found that I can do this. Not everybody can. I'm not just inflating my own ego, but I found it pretty easy to be able to do this. And maybe that's another reason that you like something, isn't it? If you find it easy to do, it's easier to like it than if something you don't like so much. And as I said, this has led on to so many other things, even onto YouTube. I came here, as I said, and started making ordinary vlogs, usually as responses to other people. But it's made me branch out, as Twish was saying as well in her video. She's explored video editing. That's not something that I've done particularly. It interests me in a way, but I've always been very keen on just talking and the unedited side of things, especially in vlogging. I prefer people just to talk. You do it another way, that's totally okay with me, that's not a problem, but I just find it easier. Once again, maybe I'm lucky that I can just turn on the camera and express an argument in however many minutes it might take, without having to keep stop and start and edit. There are times when I maybe like to edit, but I don't do it. I just like to do this. But I've done editing on other videos that people have seen. I've tried videos, I do photo videos, walking type of videos, and even exploring other ways of making videos as well. So it's challenged me in that respect. It's made me think about things. It's given me skills that I never knew I had, whether it be just talking type skills, processing an argument and articulating an argument as well, and making you think about the way that you speak, even possibly the way that you speak in the sort of language that you use. Because another thing that I found here is, obviously I could be potentially speaking to someone all over the world, wherever you are, and I know this for a fact that people have watched my videos who live in different countries, continents, whose first language is not English. And I even know of one person who suggested that they've used my videos to actually help them with their English, because I tend to speak for a long time, and I also tend to speak pretty quickly and without really much hesitation, and people have found that in that way. So that makes you think about how you speak, and once again how you develop arguments, how you express those sort of arguments. So without you realising it, you could be going on sort of a big learning curve, etc. as well. And another thing that as I said before, I think that this is a bit of a life-changing thing. It's led me on to other things outside, as I said, about the friendships as well. But it's not just worldwide friendships. Recently, through my vlogging, through my video making, people locally have started, say to notice, but have mentioned it. I meet people now and I watch your videos. They don't necessarily comment, but they watch your videos. You realise that you're not just sort of touching people across the world. You're actually touching people in your own backyard without realising it. And people, I had one meet up with someone via Twitter as it happened, and found out that one of the guys there was had been watching my videos, and he said something along the lines of, "Oh, it's weird to be talking to you when I've only seen you on video," which is a bit of a strange thing. And some of the encounters that you have with people, and some of the feedback and that you get, and another reason that I like doing this, and I've continued doing this, is because of the feedback that I get. Obviously the interaction which builds into the friendships, which I've spoken about before. I've always valued that, especially in the last couple of years or so, when I've sort of immersed myself a bit more into the vlogging and got into it. The feedback that you get, and also some of those messages or comments that you get, well, you realise that what you're saying or what you're talking about is making people think. It's maybe making people change the way that they do things, inspiring people even sometimes. Or like I was saying about the sort of language things, I had some great sort of comments and things like that from other people, and it's very gratifying to realise that you might be helping or touching people's lives in that way as well, which is something, as I said, that's a life-changing thing. It's never something that I ever thought would ever happen. I'm sure lots of other vloggers out there have got the same sort of thing that's happened to them. They've inspired people, or so it maybe inspired them to vlog, maybe inspired them to think in a different type of way. But also with this, I said in the video recently that although I tend to put out quite a lot of vlogs, there are a lot that I don't make. I think Twish mentioned about making lots of videos that don't necessarily see the light of day. I've forever making videos or writing things down, which I've mentioned lots of times. I've got notes and things all over the place. I've even started using my iPhone now to record voice memos type of thing on there as well, and even making little videos for ideas for videos that I want to do in the future, and maybe things that I don't necessarily put up there, not necessarily want to flood the market as such, but something that you think is more personal, is maybe something that isn't of interest. I started up a blogging channel, but that hasn't really worked for me because I do this better than writing. I speak fairly fluently, so it's much easier for me to do this than it is to write things down, hence the fact that I've started to use the phone to record voice memos, and also thinking about using a service called Audio Boo, where I can put sort of up to 5 minutes of an audio, something recorded, straight onto the phone, upload it, and there it is. It's like a mini vlogging site, but just for a voice. I suppose once again we're moving in a different way. We've had the video vlogs, we've had the ordinary word-based blogs, and now we have audio blogs. Now I don't know what sort of acronym or whatever you want to come up with that, but something different. Maybe that's for people who don't like to talk to a camera. Maybe that's what you can do if you're interested in that. So I like vlogging for all of those reasons that I've just expressed for a very long time, but that's what I like about it. And one of the things now about having become a partner is that I don't have to think about stopping myself within 10 minutes. Something I got pretty good at, as it happens. I used to sort of make these videos and think, oh no, I hope that doesn't go on over 10 minutes, and find out it went to 9 minutes 50. I managed to get that right. Now I don't have those limitations. Maybe that's a bad thing. Maybe because my mind wanders and I can keep talking, and I've made videos before. I think I made one some time ago that was nearly half an hour long, and I had to split it into 3 at the time. But that's the way I am. I can talk talk for England, as I said. So I like vlogging. The idea is that I tag 5 people. Now, I know lots of people don't like this tag, so I'm not going to tag anyone. But if anybody wants to make a video like this, it would be great. You can attach it to this one, attach it to the original one, or whatever. Follow the chain that carries on. So rather than just tag people, maybe get disappointed that they don't do it. If you want to get involved with this, something that you like, doesn't matter what it is, doesn't have to be connected with the internet, doesn't have to be connected with YouTube or anything like that. Something that you like doing in your life, doesn't matter. So think about that. As I say, something a bit more interesting, and you can talk about something that you like, because that's one of the things I mentioned earlier that's so good about this, and the vlogging especially, is that you find out about other people. You can find out about other people's lives, and other people's lives are interesting. The ordinary person's life is just as interesting as some of the people that we see all those biographies about or programs about on the TV or movies or whatever. You know, you and I are just as interesting, but our own different way. Just because it might be a fairly ordinary life, you'll realise that there's some pretty extraordinary people underneath there. So anyway, I like vlogging for all those reasons, and I want to hear what you like as well. Anyway, thanks for your time. I shall speak to you again soon. Goodbye.